scientists are concerned that mass hysteria over New World Order conspiracy theories could eventually have devastating effects on American political life, ranging from escalating lone wolf terrorism to the rise of power of authoritarian, ultra-nationalist demagogos.
Mm-hmm. I understood it completely.
Demagogous.
I believe you.
Demagogos. Goose. Well, that's not the fun part anyways. So, since the 1970s, extraterrestrials from other habitable planets, habitable.
Habitable.
I suppose I said it right.
Yeah.
Planets or parallel dimensions, such as the Greys, and intraterrestrials from hollow Earth, such as the reptilians, have been included in the New World Order conspiracy in more or less dominant roles. As for the theories put forward by the American writer Stan Deyo and Milton William Cooper and British writer David Icke.
You got that ick?
It might be Ike.
It's probably Ike.
Ick.
Or Ike.
It could be Ike. Icky. The common theme in these conspiracy theories is that aliens have been among us for decades, centuries, or millennia. Still, a government cover-up enforced by the Men in Black has shielded the public from knowledge of a secret alien invasion. Motivated by speciesism and imperialism, these aliens have been and are secretly manipulating developments and change in human society to more efficiently control and exploit human beings. In some theories, alien infiltrators have shapeshifted into human form and move freely throughout human society. Elon Musk.
Yes.
Even to the point of taking control of command positions in government, corporate, and religious institutions, and are now in the final stages of their plan to take over the world. A mythical, covert government agency of the United States, code-named Majestic 12, is often imagined being the shadow government which collaborates with the alien occupation and permits alien abductions in exchange for assistance in development and testing of military flying saucers, that is air quotes, at Area 51 in order for the United States Armed Forces to achieve full spectrum dominance.
Goodness.
Skeptics who adhere to the psychosocial hypothesis for unidentified flying objects argue that the convergence of New World Order conspiracy theories and UFO conspiracy theories is a product of not only the era's widespread mistrust of government and the popularity of extraterrestrial hypothesis for UFO, but on the far right and UFOologists joining forces. The Barkin notes that the only positive side to this development is that if conspirators plotting to rule the world are believed to be aliens, traditional human scapegoats such as Freemasons, Illuminatis, Jews, etc. are downgraded or exonerated.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that it?
That's the end for that section. Gosh. Yeah. And then I've got...
How many more sections you got?
A really short one because it's biblical.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited.
So I have 2 more stories that I want to share.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yeah, you read one of your stories, and then I'll read this little section, and then we'll finish with another one of your stories.
Okay. And you have more, or is it just a little section?
It's just that.
Okay, cool. This one's called the Manhattan Abduction.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Linda Napolitano, originally aliased as Linda Cortile, triggered one of the most well-documented UFO abduction cases when she claimed to have been kidnapped out the window of her Manhattan apartment building by a flying saucer. Linda, let me tell you. Linda describes her time with the aliens as such. I'm standing up on nothing, and they take me out all the way up, way above the building. Oh, I hope I don't fall. The UFO opens up almost like a clam, and then I'm inside. I see benches similar to regular benches, and they're bringing me down a hallway. Doors open like sliding doors. Inside are all these lights and buttons and a big long table. I don't want to get up on that table. They get me on the table anyway. Sorry. The way that she's describing it is just funny to me. They start saying things to me and I'm yelling. I can still yell. One of them says something that sounds like knobby egg. I think
That sounds like Simish.
I know, right? I think they were trying to tell me to be quiet because he put his hand over my mouth. Her abduction story has been corroborated by 2 United Nations bodyguards who claim to have seen exactly the scene that Linda describes. There was an oval-shaped object hovering over the top of the apartment building 2 or 3 over the building. People, commas are essential. Hovering over the top of the apartment building, 2 or 3 blocks up from where we were sat. We didn't know where it came from. It happened too fast. Its lights turned from a bright reddish orange to a whitish blue coming out of the bottom. Green lights rotated around the edge of the saucer. A little girl or woman wearing a white gown sailed out of the window in a fetal position and then stood in midair in this beam of light. I could see 3 of the ugliest creatures I ever saw. I don't know what they were. They weren't human. Their heads were out of proportion, very large heads with no hair. Those buggers were escorting her into the craft. My partner screamed, "We have got to get them." We tried to get out of the car but couldn't. After the woman was escorted in, the oval turned reddish orange again and whisked off. Years later, in 2001, this photo was taken at Linda's apartment. The aliens might have been visiting to check on her. I'll show you after I have one more sentence.
Perfect.
2 more sentences. Both bodyguards would later go on to suffer severe psychological maladies after seeing what they did that night. Linda still maintains her story to this day. So it's very tiny, but that arrow pointing at it is a little something in the sky.
Dot. Yeah.
And that's the building.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Right?
Thanks for your story, Linda.
Thanks, Linder.
Thanks, Linder. Okay. So I don't know if I've ever talked about it on the podcast, but I love biblical lore and like mythology in the way of things that kind of get swept under the rug. And so I'm going to talk about Ezekiel. So Ezekiel was plagued with visions.
Okay.
And I say plagued because he was plagued. And I'm going to just read you what this is in the Bible. I'm going to give you the verse and everything.
Yep.
This would be Old Testament, right? Ezekiel's Old Testament.
Yes.
Now, granted, people can argue when Christ came around, it was to abolish the Old Testament and to be the new Living Testament, yada, yada. Anyways, so I have this section titled Angels or ? Direct quote. This is Ezekiel 1:1-6. I looked and I saw a windstorm coming out of the north, an immense cloud with flashing lightning and surrounded by brilliant light. The center of the fire looked like glowing metal, and in the fire was what looked like 4 living creatures. In appearance, their form was human, but each of them had 4 faces and 4 wings. Cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to comment too much about these.
Yeah.
My next one is Ezekiel 1:15-19. I saw a wheel on the ground beside each creature with its 4 faces. This was the appearance and structure of the wheels. They sparkled like topaz. Each appeared to be made like a wheel intersecting a wheel. As they moved, they would go in any one of the 4 directions the creatures faced. The wheels did not change direction as the creatures went. How weird is that?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, and I kind of want to spend a little more time looking into that. So maybe I'll spend a little time digging into the book of Ezekiel. I got a Bible right over there.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was interesting, the 4 faces and the 4 wings, which, I mean, could be cherubim seraphim kind of thing,
Yeah.
which is many-eyed, many-winged. But are those not aliens? Aliens mean not of this world.
Agreed.
So, there could be a connection between aliens and angels. Just saying.
Yeah.
And I thought that's interesting. It might be worth pursuing.
Kind of rounds back to where this is all just a simulation.
Life is a simulation, folks.
Ran by aliens or
Yes.
angels, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
All right. Real life Men in Black.
Oh, shit.
Here come the Men in Black. Okay.
Men in Black.
We will be listening to that later. All right. Robert Richardson was supposedly driving through Toledo, Ohio when he drove into a strange object, which he claimed vanished the minute that he stepped out to inspect it. Remaining next to his tire, however, was a shard of metal that appeared to have been a part of the mysterious object.
Oh, so he collided.
Mm-hmm. Richardson took the metal and continued his drive home. 3 days later, 2 men in jet black suits and black sunglasses knocked on Richardson's door. They immediately demanded the piece of metal. Richardson told them that he had sent it off to a lab for analysis. They ordered him to get it back, saying that his wife would be in grave peril if he didn't. Richardson ordered them to leave and never saw them again.
That's odd. Sounds like he was trying to get out of a marriage. He was like, leave. I'm not giving you the medal.
Right.
Please take my life.
Kill my wife. Kill her. That's also another episode we can talk about. We could get into is the Men in Black, because
Conspiracy Theory Central.
yeah, here for it.
So I have one more note to talk about.
Yeah.
And I was talking to you about this briefly last night.
Okay.
So there is something called the Anunnaki, which is a Sumerian word. So the Sumerians is one of the earliest known civilizations to have left books and things. And in their writings, they write about the Anunnaki, which means the people from the sky. And is definitely aliens. I did not have enough time to research that. And honestly, we're already at 45 minutes, so I think we're doing great.
Yeah.
But if anybody's heard of the Anunnaki,
reach out
to us. Yeah. I think our socials have all kinds of way to contact us.
Yeah. So before we go into song of the week and stuff, I just wanted to shout out Dana. Okay. She is a client of my nail technician who apparently has listened to every episode, at least of this season.
Thanks,
she's
Dana.
caught up to the recent season, and she loves us. So thank you.
She's not the one we met at the... Okay.
Because I don't know who it is.
Okay. Hi, Dana.
Yeah.
Hey, girl. Pay attention. It's time for the regularly scheduled portion of the podcast, Song of the Week. I'm ready for Song of the Week, baby. Tell me what it is.
F Myself by Queen Herbie.
I love that one.
Literally, it's so good.
If I had a dick, I'd fuck myself.
Yes.